Hello, students. Good evening and welcome to my class. Today, we will discuss about public administration as a science. Here, we'll see that there are a school of thought that claims public administration as a science. Woodrow Wilson, the father of public administration, who pioneered public administration as a subject of study, called it a science of administration. Willoughby, in his writings, asserts that there are certain fundamental principles of administration and that characterized the science. Willoughby support the view of Woodrow Wilson. Another scholar, namely Orwick, says a true science of administration is ultimately possible. These scholars, Woodrow Wilson, Willoughby, and Orwick, they claim that public administration is a science. So, we'll say what is science? Science refers to a systematic and disciplined body of knowledge. There are three essential characteristics of science, and these characteristics need to be fulfilled to be called as a subject of science. Because initially we have learned that science means we understand it is the physical science, the science which is experimentable, which needs laboratory for experiment, and the experiment is provable. So here there are three essential characteristics of science. First is absence of normative or ethical values. Second characteristics is predictability of behavior. Third is universal application. If we look at one by one the characteristics, then it requires public administration requires absence of normative and ethical value to be called as a science. But in public administration, the normative values cannot be altogether eliminated because public administration is ultimately a politics. It cannot be completely sacrificed. If normative values are completely eliminated, then computer could have been an ideal chief executive. So here, one of the scholar, namely Robert Dahl, argues that normative value cannot completely eliminated from the public administration. Therefore, he claims that the space of normative value should be identified. The second features of science is predictability of behavior. It means the result of experiment can be predictable, because in physical science, usually the experiment is done of the material, therefore there the result can be predictable. But public administration, it studies human behavior or certain aspects of human behavior, and it is very different from other social science. And to study human behavior is not easy, because human behavior differs from each other. Even the even the siblings are asked some question, then their opinion, their viewpoint differ. Even the same person can give different opinion, different views in two identical situations. Therefore, Robert Dahl argues that human behavior limits the uniformity of data. The data concerning human behavior is incredibly vast and complex. It is very difficult to predict the human behavior. Another characteristics of science is universal application. We know Woodrow Wilson's public administration has its growth in the cultural framework of West. Its home is the USA administration. As such, the findings and principles which discover for administration may not be necessarily valid in other parts of world because public administration is culture bound until the principle of discovered for public administration is derived from cross cultural studies, it cannot claim universal validity or universal application. Therefore, Robert Hill argues that the principles of public administration should be derived from cross cultural studies. So, Robertal argues that there are three conditions that need to be fulfilled to call the public administration as a science. The first condition is place of normative value should be clearly identified. Second, the greater understanding should be gained of human nature in the field of administration. Third, there should be developed a body of cross cultural studies. So, when we see these three conditions and three characteristics of science, all these characteristics available in public administration, but it is not in complete way. Therefore, here we summarize that public administration is the mix of both arts and science. Thank you.